Hi blessings, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooke, this is Pages of Blessings, and today I've got a little bit of a chatty update for you. Okay, I'm finally sitting down to make this video. I think I've tried to make it, I've planned to make this video at least 2 or 3 different times, and just random unforeseen circumstances have kept me from making it. But here I am. I'm so sorry for my long hiatus from this channel, but I have just we've dealt with a lot of sickness and a lot of unforeseen things in the last few weeks. So I guess I'll just get into my life update first. I am currently, as I'm filming this, 38 weeks pregnant, which is super exciting. We are almost there. And just last few weeks we were sick, which I'm thankful to be done with the illness. There's been so much sickness, at least around where I live, and people that I know. There's just been people just can't seem to catch a break, and luckily my family stayed pretty healthy. But I'm like, if we were to get sick, I'm glad it was now and we don't have to worry about it, hopefully, once baby girl is here. And so my son had like a high fever for at least 3 days and just wasn't sleeping well. So then I wasn't sleeping well. I'm already not sleeping well because of just the pregnancy. So we were just really tired and run down, and I just wasn't reading a ton. I didn't have a lot of motivation to do anything but rest and just really concentrate on keeping us healthy and getting us healthy and over that. But we've also been dealing that, I wouldn't consider this like a complication with pregnancy, but we did find out a few weeks ago that baby girl is breech, and I've been going to a lot of different appointments and trying different ways to get her to turn on her own, and it just doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So I will be having a C-section as long as she doesn't flip. If she does flip, then great, but if not, we will be actually scheduling that C-section in a few days for sometime in my 39th week. So that has thrown some unforeseen, like a wrench, you know. It just changes things. It's not, I don't see it as a bad thing. I don't see it as this huge negative thing. It just changes how I prepare for labor and delivery, and arrangements I have to make before my toddler and help that we're going to need, because I will be unable to lift. I'll be unable to walk for quite a few days. So there's just going to be a lot more help that's needed, and I'm going to need a lot more recovery time. So we've just been really mentally preparing for that and spiritually preparing for that, just getting the house ready and our bags packed and figuring out what I need for recovery and all of that. So let's kind of a look at what we've been up to, what I've been up to. I have been reading a little bit, not as much as other months, but that's also just because I've been really tired and trying to get things done, and it seems like I get 15-20 minutes at a time before I need to sit down or am uncomfortable. So just taking things slow and reading a little bit here and there. But I did want to come on before I did have baby girl and just make one more video for you guys, and kind of just, you know, be able to interact and talk to you guys one more time. Without further ado, I'm going to actually go over my recent reads. I had an entire December wrap-up video filmed, and I tried to edit it 3 or 4 times, so like sit down 3 or 4 different times to edit it, and I was so bored editing it that I just decided if I'm this bored editing it, it's probably not worth posting. But if you're interested in what I read in December, my Goodreads will be linked in the description box below, and you can go there because I did write reviews for my books in December, so you can kind of see how I ended the year and what my favorite books in December were. I just didn't think it was worth posting at this point because I wasn't enjoying it, so why post something that I didn't think was enjoyable? But I will go over just what I've been reading lately and the few books that I have read in January, what I'm currently reading, and what I'm hoping to pick up next. So hopefully that's interesting to you, and I will get into those. So I started in December and finished in January. The very anticipated Wishlist. This was a buddy read with Bailey at Bailey's Bookshelf, and we both had very similar opinions and takes on this one. I enjoyed it. I think I ended up giving it 4 stars, but I was really nervous for the first like 50% that I was just gonna end up DNFing, or it was gonna be like a three star for me, because I was just not understanding the hype the first 50%. It was kind of slow. I enjoyed the characters, I enjoyed the plot, but it wasn't like, I wasn't like, oh my gosh. Now, I would say the last 50%, specifically the last 25%, was definitely where it captured my attention and I was completely invested. And especially with where it ended, I'm assuming there's going to be a sequel, just how it was left, but I'm hoping there is, because now it's like, now I'm invested, now I want to know. So for those of you who haven't heard of Wishlist, this is by Nadine Brandes. This is a Christian fantasy. There's strong allegory in this, Christian allegory, which again, it was something that like was way more clear as the book went on. But I really enjoyed the characters, the difference. Each character, I feel like represented such a different perspective on Christian, like walking in the Christian life, the inner turmoil of good versus evil, or just even like battling our own selfish and like fleshly desires with those of like what we know God is calling us to. So there was a lot of really great points and like things that I wanted to highlight, but overall it wasn't something that had my attention the entirety of the book. Next one I picked up, actually, well, I'll go over this one. I have one book that I don't have because I did it on audio, but was Bud Not Buddy. This is by Christopher Paul Curtis. I read this for my January reading prompts that I was hosting, No Place Like Home, the reading challenge. And so this takes place in Flint, Michigan, half in Flint, Michigan, half in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I live smack dab in the middle of those two towns pretty much. And so this was really interesting. It's also a Newbery Award winner, classic. I mean, this author also wrote Watson's Go to Birmingham, which I haven't read yet, but is on my shelf. There's a lot of different reasons I wanted to read this book, and it was kind of perfect that it fit with my January challenge. This follows Bud. His name's not Buddy. And he is 10. Yes, he's 10. His mother died when he was 6, and so he's kind of just been pushed around from like homes and foster care and orphanages since then. And he just sets on a quest to find his biological father, who he doesn't even know if it is, but he has a hunch he knows who it is based on some things that his mom left him. So he goes out to try to find this man, and it's just about his journey and eventually finding that man and what happens after he kind of is like, hey, you're my dad, even though he really has no proof of it. It was a good story. I thought there was, I don't know, I wasn't like blown away by it. I enjoyed this one. It was good. It just wasn't like super like, I wasn't like super excited to pick it up and see what happened. Like it wasn't boring enough to where I was like, didn't want to read it, but it wasn't something that kept me like coming back for more. It was something very easy. Like I could read 2 chapters, set it down. And it did take me quite a while to get through it, just because I was reading 1 or 2 chapters at a time and then setting it down, then picking back up and trying to read other things with it, because it just wasn't grasping my attention. It was good. I enjoyed the characters, but I don't know, it wasn't like there was this huge, it wasn't what I was expecting for being a Newbery. So I think I ended up giving it like 3.5 stars. Still recommend reading it because it is a Newbery and it's, you know, this author is really well known, but now I'm like intrigued to read Watson's Go to Birmingham because I've heard that one is just a lot better. Okay, then the other book that I read, well, I listened to an audio, was All Manner of Things by Susie Finkbeiner. And that, again, I read for my No Place Like Home challenge. It takes place in Michigan, but the author is also Michigan-based, from Grand Rapids, and I found out she actually attends the church I used to attend to when I lived in Grand Rapids when I went to college. So I thought that was really interesting. I never met her. It's a multi-campus church, so she probably just didn't go to the campus I went to. This one is historical fiction, and it takes place during the Vietnam War, and I loved it. I can't wait to read more of her. She has a new book coming out, I think in July, and I'm super excited to pick up multiple things from her. I really enjoyed the writing. I enjoyed the dialogue. She incorporated letters. So the brother of the main character does go to war, and his letters back to the family and their letters to him are in the book. And I love that aspect of it, because it wasn't like he was just gone and we ceased to get his perspective. We were continuing to get his perspective on life and what was going on, and we were getting that dialogue back and forth between those characters. It addressed so many different issues and life circumstances, PTSD, and growing up without a father in the home, and just past hurt, and dealing with just the ramifications war has on multiple generations. And that the person who goes to war isn't the only one affected, and just how that is really like just that ripple effect, and how the war, it doesn't just affect that one person who's gone. It affects their whole family who's left behind, and then also like generations after them, because it impacts who they are when they come back. It was a really amazing read, and I don't want to say too much because it was just it was slow paced. Very in-depth look, like day-to-day life of this family, but I enjoyed every part of it, and I especially enjoyed the audiobook. Now for what I am reading right now. I am in the middle of The Unknown Beloved by Amy Harmon. I've been talking about this one in a lot of my videos because it's been on the forefront of my mind, and I just decided that this is the one I was going to pick up. It was the one I was most interested in going forward. I am not that far. I think I'm like maybe 100 pages in. 85. It's been going really slow just because of where I'm at in my life right now and just being really pregnant, but I am really enjoying it. And so this is a historical murder mystery, essentially. So we follow Danny Flanagan, and she's 10, I think, when her parents are found dead, presumably from a murder-suicide, but there's also questions around that, if that was actually her father who killed her mom and then killed himself. But she ends up getting sent off to live with her aunts in Cleveland, and then we fast forward 15 years and we're following her in the current in Cleveland. There's a mass murderer on the loose, like he's killed. It's been like 2 years, they haven't caught him. Bodies keep turning up, so it's really interesting. I'm not sure where it's gonna go. I mean, there's so much that's happened already in the first 85 pages, and I'm not sure where it's gonna go. We're also following Michael Malone, who has a connection to Danny from when she was 10, but now he's also in Cleveland investigating this murderer. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really excited to keep reading it. I'm not going to get done this month. It's going to take me into February, but I'm still going to count this for my January Read Your Bookshelf Challenge for Chantel, to read a book that starts with the, because I don't have anything else that I read that fits that, and I did start it in January, so I'm just going to count it. I have 2 more to show. These 2 books I'm most excited to pick up in February. I shared this on my Instagram. I am so excited. This just came in from our library. Authentically Izzy by Pepper Basham. I have quite a few of her books on my TBR, but this one I was really excited, especially it's pink. It's like a romance. I'm really excited to read romance in February just because of Valentine's Day, and just a fun, lighthearted book. This is going to definitely be on my nightstand to reach for while I'm recovering from the C-section. And then I think what I'm going to do is listen to this one on audio. Keeper of the Lost Cities. Wow, can't speak. I'm heard the audio is really good for this, so I'm going to listen to this on Audible. And this is sci-fi fantasy series that I've just heard nothing but good things about, and I think there's like 8 or 9 books now, so I know it's gonna take me a while, but I'm planning on just listening to this whole series on audio throughout the next couple of years, as long as I'm enjoying it. So I guess these 3, I mean, if I get through these 3 in February, I'll be pretty happy, especially because I'm gonna have a newborn, be recovering, so that's on my agenda. I have no idea what my posting schedule is going to look like for the next month. Hopefully I can make a video. I mean, this is my new little like setup in my bedroom for baby girl. This was in my son's nursery, but we moved a old wooden rocker into his room and this nice recliner in our bedroom just for feedings, especially now that I know I am going most likely, probably like 99% chance of having a C-section. I'm going to be kind of stuck in my room for quite a few days once we get home, so this is going to be nice, but it also makes a good filming spot. So hopefully I at least get one video out maybe to you guys after she's here, maybe 2 in the month of February, and then I can, once I'm getting the routine back and I'm feeling more like myself, I can get back to a regular posting schedule. But I will be sharing more maybe day-to-day things on my Instagram. I do plan to be more invested there after my initial recovery, like that first week of postpartum is done. I should be more present again on Instagram. So if you want to keep up with me and see my face and see what we're doing day to day, I would go follow me over on there. I think that does it. That covers everything I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so much for tuning in and just your patience and grace and your prayers as I'm going through this new life change. I appreciate this community so much. Thanks for watching. Bye.